broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Love me better, make me happy.
We'll let them sing.
Make me feel this way.
We'll just dance.
Hi, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to episode 8 of Kevin from Work. We missed you guys last week. They had a bye, no episode, so we're back this week. I'm your lead host, Kimberly Crossman, and today I am joined by the amazing
Sheri Nadel, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Sam Davidson, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43.
Katie Wilbert, and you can find me on everything at Katie Wilbert.
Can we just keep this music bed underneath? I really like it. I feel like it's giving us a bit of groove. And a big shout out to Ray, our producer. Ray,
What's up, Ray?
Make sure you guys tweet us. Use the hashtag Kevin from Work or ABTV Kevin from Work, or tweet any of us. We want to hear what you guys think of not only our show but the show. It was called Aftershock from Work. What did you guys think? Initial thoughts?
Wow, I really liked this one. I thought it was fun. It was upbeat. And I felt like the whole show was centered around the relationship between Kevin and Roxy, like a sibling thing, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Like
what about you?
I think this episode should have been like episode 5. Right. Do you know what I mean? And because we only have 10, and I think things are really developing. And I've said so many times that Roxy is not like a real human being. And this is the first time that we actually see her being that. And she's kind of supposed to be one of our, like, protagonists, and it's almost over. But I'm glad that we finally are seeing her grow up a little bit.
Yeah. I got the moment I wanted in this episode.
What was the moment you wanted?
I've been waiting for the moment where one of Kevin's closest people stands up to Audrey and is like, what are your intentions? Stay away from Kevin. And I got that moment. So this episode is on the tippy top list for me.
Nice. I liked it too. I thought what was interesting, there was actually some really real like drama moments in this episode. I kind of wrote down a couple of them. Like, her standing up to him. I think also the fight a little bit between Kevin and Audrey. Yeah, there was definitely a few moments where like, oh, Kevin from Work got real. Like, shit got real. Because I felt like a lot of the episode is a lot of sarcasm and stuff. So I really rated it. I thought it was great. For me, it was really exciting to open with a great scene with Brian and Kevin. Because Brian, which is Matt, looked amazing. I wrote, he's really hot and he has a nice tan.
He always looks amazing.
He always, we all really love you, Matt Murray.
I know. Well, when he came here, he thought I had a huge crush on Kevin, and that was just me hiding it from him. I think.
By Kevin, I mean you!
Yeah.
But I like their rhythm, and I think what's cool about this episode is, like, everyone's starting to get into this really cool rhythm with each other. Like, the banter, the lines are coming in, there's not a lot of breath between lines, and it really hits that comedy really well, so I loved it. So I wanted to open up, the first time we see Patty in this episode is she's in a DMV line. Made me think of Katie because I know she was in a DMV line this week. I just thought briefly if we can share our experiences of our love-hate relationships with DMV.
Yeah, well, I was at the DMV on Monday because my license was about to expire, and I didn't realize that I had to retake the driving test. And so I was not prepared. I didn't know I was going to take my photo. I'm sure this happens to everybody, but usually I'm actually quite prepared when this happens. Like, my last driver's license was on point. And so this time I just had my sweats on and then took a really shitty photo and then was told I had to do the written test, and I flunked it the first time. Ooh. So I retook it immediately after, passed, but I was at the DMV for like 3.5 hours. And everyone, I guess the strange thing though is that I planned knowing that DMV always takes so long. I brought things to entertain myself, and so I was like in a fine mood with like snacks and water and a book. But everyone else is like so surprised when they're there for like ever. But is that like, that's my only experience with DMV is just Forever Town. So
you didn't make an appointment?
No, because I needed it like ASAP, and when I tried to make an appointment, it was only months out. So
We're calling this episode Our Issues at the DMV.
Yeah. We could talk forever.
But it is. But it's interesting. You said having a shitty photo. Like, I'm actually quite happy with my photo, but I loved how Patty was like, you know, when people are like, oh, that's your photo, but I'm so much prettier in real life. I've had the worst one. I remember my photo experience, the lady counted an uneven interval. She's like, 1, 2, 3. Which is the way to take a photo ever. Who does that? Have you got a good license?
So I just got my renewal in the mail like 2 days ago. So this is a funny topic, but it said I can renew my license online for $33.
Are you still Canadian? Like officially, you know?
Like citizenship, but I'm an American resident.
Okay, so you can.
No,
do
I have
both.
I can do. Well, I've given up my Canadian license.
Okay.
Yeah. But the point is that I don't think I have to go in and retake my picture, but I really want to because I don't like it. Yeah, and it's like 10 years old or 5, like it's crazy.
Well, before we move on, I just have something I need to share, which is I have had so many people look at my license and say, what a gorgeous photo. Why don't you actually look like that?
No.
What?
Who
You
says
look
that?
different. You looked it. No, you're still very pretty. You're still very pretty, but wow, what a great photo. It just looks a little different.
Why don't you actually look like that? Who in the world is speaking
Okay, I need to see
like
this.
to other humans?
A girl I'm not friends with anymore.
Well,
let me
they
And
just say.
rightfully so. Sam, on behalf of all the assholes out there, sorry.
But I'm not going to lie. People will look at it and be like, wow, nice photo. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
And you'd be like, yeah, I've got a nice face. Ow.
Yeah, boom.
Just
People are weird.
They kind of move on to the topic of talking about secrets and how Roxy says to Kevin that now their relationship has moved up a level because they've shared secrets. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. I remember there's a quote in some movie where the character says, I tell people secrets, it makes them like me. And I'm like, oh my God, I do the same. But I don't tell other people's secrets. I tell my own because I feel like it's a good way of like, okay, so if someone tells you a secret, do you tell?
No.
No, but I do tell my own, yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
I honestly, but I guess it's kind of this policy of like, Kim and I are so close that I feel like if someone tells me, I'm like, you know, Kim knows. Like, I just feel like it's a blanket rule if everyone's like, I'm telling you and Kimberly.
Like, it depends what the secret is. Like, for example, my brother just told me they're having a baby.
Oh my gosh! Can you tell me? No, you told me.
Back up. No, he told me when it was like the first month when like no one knows. Yeah, no, it's after 3 months.
is live.
Dad knows. Everyone knows. Hi, Joel. Yeah, but like I couldn't tell anyone, but it was killing me because I'm like, I want everyone to know they're having a baby. But no, I didn't say anything because that's like one of the secrets you never share.
Yeah.
Well, Roxy really messed up by telling Ricky, who's like biggest character trait that we see the most of in the whole of Kevin from Work, is that he shares secrets. So I thought that was interesting. Roxy accuses Audrey in this episode of her push-pull thing. What did you guys think of that, and do you agree with that statement?
I was so happy she said that. Like, she put Audrey on the hot seat and she gave it to her. And that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly how she treats Kevin. She pushes and pulls him. She reels him in, baits him, and then she'll just throw him to the curb when she like remembers who Brock is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, go Roxy. Like, she stood up for her brother, which I think is what the whole central thing is in this episode, is the epiphany she has with her brother and the relationship between them. So I was really happy she said that to Audrey. And I hope it gets to her, you know?
What do you think, Sam?
I wrote down that line because I used it in all the promos, but I loved that line because so many people do that, whether it's a girl or a guy. It's a back and forth, like, ooh, I will give you some mixed signals, and then I'm going to pull away. And
It's so true.
yeah. Well, welcome to all of our lives.
Yeah. Tell me more about it.
But, you know, with that being said, so it's not like Kevin and Audrey from Work. This is Kevin from Work. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if Audrey doesn't step up, she's dispensable. And I liked her character, but the past 2 episodes, the only time I liked her was at the very end of this episode when she actually came. And she should have snuck in to see him and figured it out.
Gone anyways.
Yeah.
What do you think, Katie?
I mean, I was all for it. I've been waiting for this moment because I do feel like Audrey has her cake and she's eating it too, and then someone took the cake away and she's like, but why? And it's like, because you have a boyfriend, jerk. Like, don't be a dick.
And you're pushing and pulling your
yeah,
feelings.
I
with
feel like
Kevin.
that's exactly what she's doing, is she's putting the blame on Kevin and taking none of it for herself. She even said, like, I've done nothing wrong. And it's like, for someone to say that is like, it's so furious in a character that you want to like. But as soon as she said that, I'm like, I don't like you anymore, because you're not owning up to the fact that even if she didn't have feelings for him, which she obviously does, like, she's still leading someone on in a way that's very hurtful and not going, I'm sorry I did that. Instead, it's like, well, it's on Kevin. He's the one who wrote the love letter.
Yeah. I thought that the play on her being like, Brock. I guess I wrote down with my Audrey versus Kevin, I was like, what is her stance? Because it's like, she only wants him when she can't have him, but then she still doesn't really want him. And she's like, I have a boyfriend. But I don't know. I also was trying to be like, if you put yourselves in her shoes, how would you react? Because you want to be friendly and nice to someone, but what do you do? So if you were Audrey, what would you do?
That's a tough situation. I think she needs to come to terms with her true feelings, and if she really doesn't want to be...
Do you think she still has feelings for him?
I do. I think she's burying them.
Do you think she has feelings for him?
Yeah, and I think that she tried. I was going to say, like, I would have switched desks, but she tried to do that, and the universe, like, kind of spit it back in her face. And it's almost the universe is, like, telling her constantly to be with him, and it's, like, annoying.
She also kept the love letter from episode 1.
Yeah.
I think from episode 1, she's got a little bit, a little bit for him.
What do you think, Kitty?
I think she does have feelings for him. However, I guess I look at it with a different lens, too, in that I guess Kevin seems too nice to me. Even, like, this episode, he was a bit more take charge, but I still think he's so friendly that it's hard for me to be attracted to that. Almost like I imagine how Audrey would feel, of, like, he's the right guy. On some level, I have feelings for him, but I understand why she would maybe be conflicted, because he's so friendly on the regs that it's
Do
like,
you think
that
she's going to start
transition would
liking
be
him
weird.
more now that he's standing up to her?
Oh, yeah, the second that he's not
Yeah.
interested. I mean,
Yeah.
you remember the episode where he finally went on a date and was tweeting it, and she
Yeah.
got drunk because of it? Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's just how life works, but also I think... I don't know. Not to put the blame on Kevin, but I also feel like he has to man up. She has to stop being a jerk and be, like, waffly. But also I think it helps when someone no longer gives you the option. If Kevin's like, I can't even be your friend anymore, like, that puts an ultimatum on someone to be like, all right, you either are my friend and that's it, or you date me. There's no in between.
Right.
I think it's tough because I guess I was looking at it, I'm like, but what could she do? Like, she really can't do any right here either. Like, we're not happy with her behavior in the episode because we're like, yeah, you are push pulling, but then I'm like, but what else could she do
that's the
besides being like, I can't? And then
So she does that. She says,
Yeah.
I can't, but then she
Yeah.
doesn't respect his feelings because she
Yeah.
knows he likes him. So it's like she needs to step back then and respect how he feels.
Have space, but
Yeah.
then we wouldn't have a show because we need
Exactly.
input.
We need the drama.
I think it's a pickle for the writing team, honestly, because
Yeah.
in real life, like, I've been in this
The only-
situation
yeah.
before, and I just pulled away and stopped seeing the person that I thought had feelings for me, and 6 months down the road, we're, like, actually in a place of friendship. But you can't do that in a show because it's not entertaining. That's,
No.
like, how you actually handle a situation.
Yeah.
Is you walk away and go, okay, I'm going to remove
Space.
myself so no one's hurt. But you can't do that in a show where you need to see them interact
No.
and bump heads. So... that's hard for a writing team.
I guess what's going to be interesting is, we thought it's all building up to them being together. Like, that would be the formula of a sitcom with an A storyline. We're one episode really away because it's a double episode. So it's, an hour-long season finale next week. And either they've dangled the carrot well enough that we're not sure, or they're going to do something different and not put them together. I don't know. I feel like they've set it up. It could go either way.
I thought the same thing while we were watching it.
Yeah.
But I think this episode they tried to pull them apart only because in the finale I think it's gonna push them together. Because maybe he's gonna get that job in Italy or somewhere else, and she's gonna be like, no,
Which
don't
is
leave.
the first episode
and she'll,
again.
Yeah, she'll have an epiphany and be like, I need you, and
Yeah.
like, I'm still hoping for that kiss, Sam.
Why are you looking at me? 'Cause did I say it
you
from the
said
beginning?
you said they won't kiss till the end, till the last
And you're like,
episode.
Sheri really wants them to kiss.
Did I?
Yeah, we're like, they might kiss at 5, but at the moment,
It's gonna be episode
got
8.
it.
I'm the only one. I should have
10.
put money on.
yeah, we should have,
should've.
but you didn't, so we're not going to give you any money. I did have to laugh with the Skype interview bit because I don't know if you guys have ever had to do a Skype interview or FaceTime or anything. like I was like, as soon as he said it's a Skype interview, I'm like, something will go wrong because those things technology never works when it's an important thing like that, like a phone call. So
Yeah.
I thought that was
the worst scenario for him. Like,
oh, for
gets
sure.
banged in the head.
But it shows how
knocked out.
devoted he is, you know?
Yeah.
I like him
He
better a
pulls
little bit
through.
when he has a concussion.
Yeah.
That was
Nothing.
funny.
I did like him more in this episode in particular.
Yeah.
As far, like, him standing up to Audrey and, like, no longer taking her crap. Like, I guess seeing that, I'm like, if anything, I feel like that would make Audrey more attracted to you because you're not just letting her...
What did he say?
Do
I want to
whatever.
be your god. I'm your god.
Yeah.
They had a good argument. He pulled out some great
Yeah, he
one-liners.
did.
He did. He who plays karate in pajamas.
So good.
Yeah, and she didn't really have anything in her
No,
to
just
throw back at.
you seem to not notice I have a boyfriend, which is silly because he obviously is aware.
Yeah.
He's more like, but you're not aware.
And
like,
I saved your life from getting run over by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
love me.
What did you guys like or not like about this kind of sibling relationship that they really pulled into play here? They kind of like took all the Roxy qualities and were like, we're trying to change some of them for this episode. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I was feeling it. I started to like Roxy a lot more. Not that I didn't like her. I love her character, but it's always like about her. And this episode was all about Kevin and just building their relationship and letting him know like how close she really is to him and how much she cares. So I liked it. I liked that they threw that in and really built it up. And she stood up to Audrey for him. She was like, no,
Yeah.
you're not going to do that to my brother. No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it.
Sam?
I loved it. I have a little brother that's like close in age to me. He's 2 years younger, but he's more of an older figure.
Got it.
He's a lawyer.
Got it.
We just talked today. It's weird. Anyways, it's like, you know, I really, really liked it. I thought that they communicated for the first time and that she has finally realized she wants him there,
Yeah.
which I really, really liked. And I liked that she's the one that stood up for her brother instead of Brian, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it made it more serious. Yeah.
I think it was necessary for the B storyline of Brian being in love with Roxy because the closer that Roxy and Kevin get on a sibling relationship, the more juicy that whole triangle is going to be with Brian secretly being in love with his sister who's getting closer with. So I felt like it was a good move on the writer's part, and it didn't make me go like, weird, Roxy doesn't act like that. Like there was a reason for it. So I felt like it was awesome.
What do you guys think of Dev and Patty's relationship, Katie?
I find it hilarious.
That he's a doctor and a DJ. I think that's the best mix.
Best
ever.
combo.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's appropriate that she would be with someone who would not overpower her. I just feel like it would be unrealistic for her to be with someone who would be as alpha, because it would just be a super antagonistic relationship as opposed to one where like each person has their place. So I like it. I think it's adorable.
Yeah, I think she's found her soulmate. They're cute. It works. It's funny. I like it a lot.
Nice.
I think it's hilarious. I like it. She is definitely the alpha in the relationship, and he just like does whatever she says. I think it's cute, and I think it's like puppy dog love, you know? Like I don't know if she's going to dispose of him in 1 second, but I think in this episode she did have an epiphany where she's like, oh my God, he really is a good guy.
I don't know if we've seen too many of those Dev characters, like more of a submissive, passive male character that's straight on sitcoms. I don't know if we've seen too many of them because I can't think of one, but I don't know.
I mean, usually like male leads like Kevin are kind of like that. If they're like, I'm in love with someone who doesn't love me back, like they start that way as like, I'm just a friend and one day she'll notice me. And then I feel like there's an evolution of manhood, which is how like rom-coms go, is it's like boy meets girl, boy loses girl, but also boy becomes man. So I feel like that, but
he
like
tried to do that in
yeah,
this
but I
episode.
feel like Dev is kind of different. He's almost like more delicate than obviously Kevin is, because Kevin is someone that I feel like every man is supposed to relate to.
Right,
And Dev
right.
is supposed to be like the passive yin to what's her face?
Patty's Yang.
Yeah.
I like that whole setup. That I thought that was a really funny gag that they kept playing and bringing in more.
I loved the
electrician,
pylon game.
Yeah.
It's like a classic improv game, and
Yeah.
I loved that the writers did it. I
Yeah.
immediately wrote it down like, oh, so nice.
Good job, writers.
Yes. So fun.
I like the line that I think Roxy used about having a domestic partnership. That's what she changed her Facebook status. I noticed that we all laughed at that. I wrote that Kevin needs a change because he has expectations of someone that he's not in a relationship with. And I just wondered what your guys' stance is on that. So he's in love with her and she's not meeting his expectations. So when she doesn't show up, he's disappointed. But then really she doesn't need to show up because she's not in a relationship with him. What did you think, Sam? I mean, we obviously want her to show up, but is he putting unrealistic expectations on someone who's, in their mind, a friend?
I mean, I think that she will, but at the same time, I do think that Kevin does need a change, whether it's to move to Italy or some other place or just another job in LA. And I like that we know that this company, this whole show, it takes place in Los Angeles. It's not like they're in like the middle of nowhere and they can't find another job. There's other jobs.
Yeah.
And he should find one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he's coming to terms that maybe it's never going to happen. And so he's just in his way trying to move on subtly. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting the point you're making as far as like putting expectations on someone, because I had a teacher in college say once that expectations are premeditated disappointments, that like you're setting yourself up to be disappointed because it's unrealistic what you're expecting. And I think at this stage, at the next episode, I would want to see him like walk away from the situation, especially if at this point he's assumed she didn't come to see if he was okay because Roxy told her get out of here and she did, that he's under this interpretation that, you know, it's done with him and Audrey, and I would actually like to see him walk away from it and like liberate himself from that, because I think it would give Kevin more gumption.
Do you think that Kevin's going to find out in the next episode and be really pissed off at Roxy and say, you're trying to protect me, but like that's too far?
I don't know if they'll swing it that way. Well, should we do predictions? Because it's time to... Can we do predictions? Where's our
Predictions?
We'll do it ourselves.
Spooky music
Your
time.
AfterBuzz
there we go.
TV
There we go.
predictions.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, there's no oohing.
Oh, man.
People are like, what are they
It's
doing?
not October yet, so they won't let us
foot.
do the ghost sound.
There we go. Season finale next week. What are we going to see?
Oh boy, I think there's going to be another head-to-head argument with Kevin and Audrey. I think they're going to have another like have it out between them before they are brought back together, if they're being brought back together. But I still believe there's going to be a kiss in the finale. So yeah, I think they're going to have it out and then they're going to be brought together. And I think Kevin's going to find out that she did come and she's going to be like, I came to visit you. I really care. And then he might get a little mad at Roxy, but he'll probably forgive her because she was only trying to protect him. So I think we're going to see some development with that.
Okay. What do you think, Sam?
Okay, I just had an epiphany.
You did!
Yes, which was not something I thought before, but I knew that they were going to wait till the last possible second to see if Audrey and Kevin would get together. I think Kevin's going to get another job somewhere else, and he's going to tell her. And then she is going to realize everything, and then they're going to make out big time.
You hit it.
Or more, hopefully. And then the show is, it's going to, you know, we're not going to know what they're going to do at all. And I think, and I think that the Brian and Roxy storyline will progress. To
Or will he
something
get the job offer and they'll leave it hanging there? And she's going to be like, don't go.
about Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe she's going to tell him not to leave, and then he's not going to know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also a person with a career that's
Yeah.
smart. Like, he can't have his whole job be about a woman. It's like, it's anti-feminist. Do you know what I mean? Like, if his character were a woman, and her
We'd
whole
all
job...
be like, girl, don't
Yeah.
base your decisions
Yeah.
on a man.
Yeah.
You need to go be
Right.
you and go do you.
Yeah.
Kevin,
Go do you.
boo.
Yeah, you
Go
do you,
do
Kevin.
you.
What about you, Katie? What do you think?
Okay, well, I'm going to say what I would like to see. I don't think this is what's going to happen. I would like to see Kevin get on a plane and literally step foot in Italy, because I think it would be different. And then I think what would happen is season 2 would start exactly how season 1 started.
Like he gets her and the job doesn't work out.
But he would come back and he's over Audrey and she's like,
Hi.
I left Brock. I want to be with you. And he's like, tough cookies,
Interesting.
lady.
Andiamo.
Okay, my prediction is that Kevin and Audrey will have an argument, whatever, come together, about to kiss. Like, we're going to get that payoff moment, and then it'll be interrupted with, like, a Roxy Brian kiss, or something will go wrong, or something like that. I don't know. I just feel like we're going to get to that point, and then they're gonna steal away. But those are good ideas because they kind of leave it more of a cliffhanger. Well, we'll have to see. So yeah, anyway, that was episode 8. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you keep in touch during the week. I am Kimberly Crossman.
I'm Sheri Nadel. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Sam Davidson, Instagram, Facebook, and online at samdavidsonentertainment.com.
Katie Wilbert.
At Katie Wilbert everywhere. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, AfterBuzz. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.